Hello guys, welcome again to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, just to give a context to today's video, so over the past few months I've joined a couple of friends for their driving test because I have a small car and somehow my friends want to use my car for their test. So that has given me the opportunity to join them to their test, and then of course also in some scenarios they've asked me to join them on the journey, and it's been quite an experience for me. So I want to do a series on how to use road signs because I was in a couple of tests, and I think one of them, um, my my friend that actually invited me over made a mistake with a road sign. She was asked to use the road sign from Farnham heading towards Guildford, and then from Guildford to Farnborough. And she made a couple of mistakes. Well, just one mistake, but that mistake she made led to her making a serious fault in the end, and that cost her um, her pass, right? So, but then in this video, I just want to kind of give a clue to how to make use of the road signs. Especially, I think that road is a road that they use during the afternoons generally, and so yeah, in this video, I will be using the road signs from Farnham heading towards Guildford, and then from Guildford to Farnborough, and I'll show you how to kind of pick clues on how to read them. So I will call this series driving test replay because of course I'm not going to play it out as it happened because I was seated behind, and of course I could see what was going on. So I'm going to play it as it happened, and I hope you find the video helpful, and don't forget to like, to comment, to subscribe. So I'm going to start the journey now. Of course, I'm parked, so I'm heading this way. So it's usually best to kind of start your observation when you're doing your 6 checkpoint from the opposite side of where you're entering. Let me explain what I mean. So if I want to move, say I want to move straight now, and then of course, say I'm parked on the left. So I'll start from the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then signal right? So if I am parked on the right and then I'm entering the road on the left, I'll start from the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's what I mean by starting in the opposite direction. So for this, I would assume that I'm parked on the right and then I'm entering the left. So I'm going to start now. By the way, I've gotten ready. My gear is on the drive, and my handbrake is down. I'm using an automatic car. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then I signal. Then I check my blind spots, and then I'm gonna move. So of course, so what happened on the day was she was given the map to drive from the test center towards Farnham. So I'm gonna assume I'm using the map now. Of course, I know my way around, so I wouldn't need direction from the map or something. So, but yeah, so she was given the map. So all through this point, the map was telling her what to do. So of course, you know, it's a 20 mile per hour road here, as the road sign says. So there is a bump. The bumps are there to help reduce speed. So it's not a wise thing for you to maintain the same speed as you were on before you approach a bump on the bump, because the purpose of the bump is to help you reduce your speed. So of course, as you approach, you tend to reduce your speed, right? Fulfilling the purpose of the bump in the first place. And then I'm going to stay on the left here, and then look on the roundabout. No one is coming, and I'm going to maintain the left throughout the roundabout. Yeah, and then mirror signal left. Yeah, by the way, you could take advantage of the new policy that, well, I think the DVSA is just trying, DVSA, DVLA, so they're just trying to make it easier for most students to have their test done because the backlog is crazy. So I think they now do tests on Sundays. I have a friend who actually did a test today and she passed. I was happy. Well, so congratulations to you, friend. Okay, so yeah, you can actually check out for test dates on Sundays if you're looking for a closer one. Okay, my speed is changing here, 40. Okay, I'm going to increase my speed a bit. Because this journey is a long one, I'm not going to pull up on the left here. I'll just keep going. So of course, heading to Farnham, as she approached, the map did say at the roundabout, use the third exit. So normally I can go to the right, but if you've watched in my previous videos, I always love being on the left of the lane, so that if the lane is a 2-lane road, other cars who want to overtake can overtake, if that makes sense. So yeah, so I'm going to use the middle lane here for third exit. Okay, mirror signaling is still going to approach the lane. In case it goes red, it stays green. Okay, I'm in. So I'm using the third exit. So screen for me. Now, because I'm on this lane, by the time I would be leaving, I would be on the left, approaching slowly. So by the time I'm exiting the roundabout, now I'm going to be on the left. If I had used the right, I would be on the other lane, and then I'll be on the right. So, but because I used the middle lane on the Queen's roundabout, I am going to be on the left. I did a video on knowing how to use the Queen's roundabout when leaving the test center. Okay, so now mirror signaling left, and then I'm going. So this road was recently redone, and of course, the advisory speed limit's 10, but of course that's not what I'm going to do in this video. So it's 50 miles per hour here, so I'm going to increase my speed. Now, because I'm going to Farnham, of course the map what I'm going to tell continue straight to Farnham, right? So I can see already that on this lane, the destiny of this lane is to turn left, right? So I'm going to switch lanes by looking at my center mirror, right mirror, seeing that it's safe, signaling, and then of course changing lane. So I'm heading towards Farnham, not Fleet, and that's why I have moved to this lane. But like I said, all through this part of the journey, it was the map was actually in charge, giving her direction on the test date, so she was fine generally. My setup is very risky because my receiver actually that I'm using with the mic, because I noticed that the past videos the sound was not great. I have a mic, but I've been having issues using the receiver and using the device for recording as well. So today I did something very risky, just give it a shot and see how far this gets me. But yeah, so far so good. It's working. I hope it stays that way. Of course, the speed is changing. Yeah, reducing my speed now. I use my mirrors there. If I change my speed, so what I'm going to do with this video is I'm going to do it today as it should be done. Then the next video I'm going to shoot around this test route is as she did it, and the mistake she made and how to correct it in case you miss your use of road signs whilst navigating this particular test route. No, don't bring my phone down. So on the roundabout, the map said at the roundabout continue straight. Now for those of you who have not watched previous videos, you can see that the get in lane sign there says the left lane goes only left and the right goes straight ahead or turning right. So I moved to the right. I didn't signal at all because I was coming from a single lane into a double lane. Okay, there is nobody coming. I'm going to maintain the left now. All right, maintaining the left here, mirrors signaling for exiting. So yeah, that is it. So this is what she did. All of this point she did amazingly well. I'm going to wipe my glass because I don't know what that line I'm seeing on the video is. So yeah, okay, approaching slow in case it goes right. It doesn't. Oh yeah, well, I'd already passed, so there was nothing I could do in that scenario. So approaching this one slowly again, just in case it goes red on me. I'm fine. Okay, and then I continue my journey. So of course, speed is going to 30 here. I'm going to check my mirrors, reduce my speed a bit. And then on the roundabout, the map asks that she continue straight. And of course, you approach slowly, giving way to your right. No vehicle is coming on my right now. I will just continue the journey. And then it's a mini roundabout. You don't really need to signal. But if you do, it's not going to be a problem either. So, but just analyze the situation and see which one gives you a better control of your vehicle. If you think you're going to be in control even though you signal, that's fine. If you just don't want to stress about it, just go really. So at this point, the map did ask her to turn right. So I will be turning right. So mirrors, signal, right. Okay, good. And then the map said turn left. So mirrors, signaling left. I will be entering here, which is what she did. And of course, she entered gently. And she was asked when it's safe, pull up on the left. So mirrors, signaling, and then she pulled up. She pulled up in front, but I'm not going to pull up in front here. Sorry. Yeah, well, I did signal. I don't know why she didn't. Yeah, I did signal that I was pulling up. I don't know why she followed me. So, but yeah, so she did pull up around these beats, and then she was asked when it is safe. Just give me a second. I'm trying to ensure that I don't lose my recording whilst I keep moving, because this is very, 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 very slight, really. Okay, and then she was asked when it's safe, continue the journey. So 6 checkpoints she did, signaled right, and of course she moved when it was safe. Although that was, so she parked somewhere around here, to be fair. She parked here on the day. And then she was asked to do a parallel parking with that Golf in front. Well, it wasn't a Golf, but it was a car. That was the position she was asked to do it, and she did pretty well on that. Yeah, so I'm going to do that as well. Okay. Of course, she was asked to park first before she did hers, but I want to make this video as short as possible, so I'm going to do that. My mirrors are aligned now, and then I do a full turn, locking my steering towards the right where I'm going, do my 6 checkpoints, right, and then go until I form a 45-degree. I would know when the handle, my mirrors, align with the back door handle, and then I straighten my wheel, and then I move backward a bit using my blind spot mirrors and see when I'm close. And then when I'm close, I do a full lock towards the left. I keep observing, yeah. And then when my car becomes straight, I then straighten my wheel again, and then that will be it. So yeah, then she was asked to do a 2 car length reverse of the size of her car, and she did really well. I was just cheering her on in my mind, sitting behind, because she had struggled with that in the past. But yeah, she did really well on the day. And she was asked when it's safe, continue the journey, which she did safely, signaling right. And then of course, look at the blind spot, and then continue the journey. So, and then she was asked to turn left. Yeah, so mirror signal left. All through this bit of the journey, the map was still on. So map was telling her what to do, and she followed the map. And then she was asked to pull up on the left here when it's safe again. So this was her third pulling up, mirror signal left, in the space of less than 5 minutes. So most of her pull up happened around this area, right? So that was the third one. And then of course, when it was safe, she was asked to continue, which she did safely. And then she kept using the map still. and then she was turning right here. She did, giving way. Okay, no one is coming. Then turning left here, mirror signaling left, approaching slowly, and then tilting to the right, left. Okay, no one is coming. So the map was still on. She kept on moving. And then at the junction, the map said turn right. So she used the mirrors. She signaled. And then this was a very, very interesting and difficult place because the view here is very, 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 very limited. So she did a pick and creep, and then she turned, and then she was turning left almost immediately. So it was a really, really tricky one. So, but she did really well, and she navigated amazingly well, right? So, and then I think somewhere around here, the map said, you have arrived your destination. So the examiner then took over and said, continue the journey. I'm going to give you direction, which she did. And then she continued. And then she was turning left here. So she moved to the left lane, mirror signaling left, waited for oncoming cars by giving way here. And then when it was safe, she did continue her journey. And as she continued, around this point, the examiner said, when it is safe, pull up on the left. So this was her fourth pulling up, right? Which she did amazingly well. And then at this point, the examiner said, okay, so now you're going to use the road signs and head towards Guildford. Now, it was interesting because she had told me before that time that, oh, she's not really good with using road signs. So, and yeah. So I was just like, oh my God, this is not going to end well. So, well, she started well anyways. She did the observations, and then when it was safe, she continued her journey, right? So, and she did well. So this is where the meat of this video comes in, because I want to show you how to use the road signs. So I'm going to try and see if I can zoom in particular places, because I'll be doing so many things. So I'm going to zoom in and see if I can show you particular things, particular places. Hopefully it works well. If it doesn't work, I'll still explain so you get it. So she was lucky on the day, because generally this test route is used around the afternoon, say from 1, that is around 1, around 2, you most likely get this place. So there was traffic. So that gave her enough time to use this first one here. Can you see this sign? Can you see? You can see that it says there that if you are heading towards Guildford, you should turn right, right? So that was the first clue she got on, because of course there was traffic, so she could stand there and see properly what it is that she needed to do. And of course, there was another clue here, which is that sign. Let me see if I can bring it on before it goes. Can you see? It says Guildford, turn right. So that was a confirmation that she was doing the right thing. So that's the first clue to Guildford that you were going to get, right? Now, the next clue comes from this big signboard here, where it says Guildford is second exit. Can you see? Guildford is second exit. And of course, like I've said, in a 2-lane road, except the road sign says otherwise. If you're a learner, you're continuing straight, stay on the left. So here it doesn't say otherwise. So she stayed on the left, continued gradually. And if you can see, at that point, it had become 50 miles per hour. So of course, her speed needed to change as well. So she was on 50 now. And then you could see that sign there as I was entering the road that also confirmed that I was on track. Now I'm going to see if I can zoom in into this one coming up. Let me see, that was too much zoom. Can you see? It says there that if you are going towards Guildford, be on the left lane, right? So that's what she did. So she was on the left lane, and then the ground as well kind of said, oh, continue to Guildford. So this was the correct lane for Guildford. Okay, and then now the first thing that she almost missed. Oh my, that was you see that was what I was talking about. So the first thing she almost missed was this road here. It's a slip road. She almost gave way here, right? She almost gave way for a slip road. Like see what this guy is doing now. It's a slip road. Shouldn't be giving way at all. So that was the first mistake she almost made, right? And she was able to make up for it because there were cars in front of her that were able to kind of guide her on what to do. Because there were cars in front, there was traffic, so she was able to figure out what to do at the right time. So by the time she got here though, the examiner said, oh, continue straight towards Farnborough using the road signs now. So that was where the real challenge for her came, because she had done the Guildford one well. Now it was time for her to do the Farnborough one, right? And at first she did well because I was scared that she was going to exit on this one. But if you notice, the signboard there says Runford. You can see Runford. So this is not Farnborough. So she did well. She didn't exit on this one because this is going to Runford, right? So during your test, be on the lookout. The first exit you see is not the exit for Farnborough. And then here was when the first clue came, saying that the next left goes to Camberley, to Farnborough, to Aldershot, to Woking. And interestingly, at this point, when she got here, she did use her mirrors and then she began to signal. So I was, oh my God, she's gotten this. But all of a sudden, she refused to exit and she continued straight, and that's why she missed it. So because the sign says this one goes to Farnborough or Aldershot, this was the correct thing to do. But although her signals were on, she didn't exit, and that was where the first trouble came. And you can see that the signs there say, I am on track, right? So, well, after the test, I did escort her to do this road again for her to understand where she missed it. So yeah, of course, it's 2 lane. I'm on the left lane again. Yeah, so that's it. Sorry about the interruption with my phone falling so the other time. Okay, so according to the sign, it says continue straight to Farnborough. So that's what you are supposed to do. The first exit only goes to the service station. You wouldn't need to go there. So of course, and then mirror signal left, and then you see the signs there say Camberley, Farnborough, Woking. Now, the next tricky bit is this sign that's coming up. It says Aldershot is in 2 miles, Farnborough is in 4 miles. So there is an exit coming up. But because I already know that Aldershot is in 2 miles, like you can see now, it says the next left is Aldershot and Woking. So this is not the one to use. So it's 70 miles, just keep going. You're not going to Aldershot, you're not going to Woking, right? So just keep going on this road for now. So this first one is the one for Aldershot. This is not the one you're using. So generally I advise students that on your test, if a car is slow like this one in front of you, just drop back and don't overtake them. But because of this video, I don't want it to take too longer than it should. I'm going to overtake, did my mirror signal and then mirror signal, and then I move back to my own lane. Yeah, so just during your test, you don't have to overtake, you can just follow them. Okay, I can see this car is almost entering, so mirror signaling, because if I continue, I might make them brake. So yeah. Alternatively, at that bit where I changed my lane, I could reduce my speed. So that's what you could do on the test, reducing your speed. And of course, when it's safe, you move back to your lane, which I'm going to do once I overtake this vehicle. So that's mirrors, signaling left. I've given some gap, and then I'm going to move to the left. So it's another car that's slow. It's 70 miles, but I think it's currently doing 60. So I'm currently on 57 now. I'll just follow them because I don't want to overtake anymore, just to not overcomplicate the video. So I'll just keep following them. You can see this sign says the next exit is Farnborough and it heads towards Farnborough and Ashvale. So you have a clue that, oh, okay, this is where I should be exiting. And then the countdown begins. Yeah, it says 3, 2, mirror signal left. Just as a reminder, there's a sign here again that says the left turns towards Farnborough, and then of course you just exit here. So of course, at the roundabout, she was told she's going to be using the second exit. So she was on the left lane, because even though she missed her road, she had joined the dual carriageway again. And yeah, so okay, give way here, and then continue straight, mirror signal left. Now you see welcome to Farnborough, right? But then, so one would think that that was the end of it, but the examiner instead that no, she will still continue to Farnborough. So, and so she continued. Yeah, so if you do have any question whatsoever around this particular test route, do well to ask, and I would respond to them. So you can see that the sign ahead says if you're going to Farnborough, continue straight, right? I don't want to kind of, yeah, you can pause the video and just check it out. So it says continue straight, and that's what she did. So she stayed on the left lane, sorry, the right lane, because the left lane only goes left, and then she continued straight. So of course, mirrors, signal, and then the sign here also confirms that this heads towards Farnborough. And by the time she got to this bit, the examiner did ask her to use the second exit heading towards the business park, right? And that was what she did, the aerospace center. So, and then she maintained the left, and then approach slowly. I did try to convince her to join me. Let's do this video together, but she is not up for the game of being on the video yet. So, but yeah, so that is how to use the road signs from Farnham heading towards Guildford and then Farnborough. You can actually pause the videos and just check everything that I did. I know there was an interference when the device fell like I had predicted initially, but then overall, yeah, so I think I was able to capture all the major bits where you need to pay attention to the road signs, where you need to know what to do. So this is one of the test routes that you would be required to use the road signs. So do watch them, get familiar with them. Well, you never can tell what test routes that you're going to use. However, I noticed a trend that the 2 times that my friends have used this particular test route the same way I just did it now was in the afternoon. So their test was around I think 1:35 p.m. ish, 2 p.m. So yeah, if you have your tests around that time, you'll find the video more useful. But then, of course, this can be used in the morning as well. It just depends on what the traffic conditions are, how the examiner feels, and yeah, I do hope that this video helps you in your journey to becoming a licensed driver in the Farnborough Test Center. And until next time, keep practicing, keep training, keep watching the videos, and yeah, I'll see you on the next video. Don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to comment, and don't forget to like. Bye bye.